What's going on, everybody? Carlos here once again from PremierReviewer, and in this video, as you see in the title of the description, if you're here to figure this out, I think I'm going to give you some points, not spec'd out points about the camera. There's so much information, but we're going to be talking about, is the Sony A6600 worth it in 2025? Let's find out. Now, that seems like a loaded question when you think about it, because many people might tell you no. But depending on the price you can get this camera for, which ranges, I mean, from $600, $700, $800, $1,000, $1,300, like the range is a lot. Now, you guys gotta remember that when the A6600 came out, this was the flagship APS-C camera at the time. It was giving you the brand new, bigger and better battery that's on the more full frame lineup, the newer full frame lineup during that time when they upgraded. It also was giving you image stabilization. Again, not something that you really saw. Besides, the 6500 did have it. It wasn't that good. And I would say that this is not the greatest, but it does have it in there. For myself, I realized I wanted to use it for vlogging. I wanted to try the compact camera size because what I was using before was, the smaller cameras. I had the 6300, the 6500, and then I had the A7R2. I actually downgraded from the A7R2 to get the A6500 and a lens combo. And most people say, why would you do that? Because I realized what I was really looking for was just more reliability with the autofocus. And the 6500 was just more superior than the autofocus that came out of the A7R2 at the time. It was a personal choice. For me, I realized that when they made this announcement, I had that, well, I still have it. It's the A7 III, which you see right over there. And now that is an amazing camera. But I found myself grabbing the A6600 so much more. The improved autofocus to the nth degree. At the time that this camera came out, this had the best autofocus that Sony was offering at the time. It had upgraded color science, still using the older menu, but the features that packed into this thing, it was truly a huge difference in just the video quality and just the day-to-day use. So they went from the regular tilt screen to the flip out screen. Now, yeah, it wasn't a ideal situation, because if you wanted to really use the flip up screen and you wanted to have any kind of accessory on the hot shoe mount, you're gonna be stuck having to adjust it through the side, which cameras manufacturers like Small Rig, they made little side mounting for any kind of microphone accessory. I myself right now, even me using it, I have the Hollyland Mark 1, I believe, or Mark 2. I don't even remember at this point. But yeah, I have it on there. It's not blocking the whole screen, but it is there and it is noticeable. And to be honest, you learn to kind of live with that. I still think it's a magnificent camera. And for me, I think that if I were to upgrade, it would be, I'm not sure if I would go with the A6700. If I was gonna truly upgrade, it would become more, just because I love this format, it would be for the it would be for the FX30. At this point, the only way I see myself upgrading from this is to get the FX30 to kind of pair up with this. Now, my goal is to upgrade eventually with some of these cameras, and I know in 2025 we're gonna get some new A7 V, the rumors are. But what does that all mean? For me, this camera doesn't have 4K 60, which I'm fine. I'm not, for my use cases, I'm not shooting slow motion, so it's really not a big deal. In fact, this camera usually lives on some sort of tripod, some sort of magic arm, even like it is right now, where you can see the benefits that this camera has. it doesn't need to be a run and gun for everyone. If you're like me and you're gonna put it in place, there are so many use cases that this thing just does way more than what people are giving it credit for in 2025. No, it doesn't have the latest and greatest autofocus, but the autofocus it already has, it has eye detection autofocus. It has, I'm not worried about shooting birds or wildlife with this. The image quality that comes out of here is phenomenal. I believe it's a 24 or 26 megapixel sensor, and I gotta be honest, it's more than enough. It does way more than enough if you want to just go photography wise. As far as putting on good glass, I think that getting at the right price and having APS-C, that body style, that APS-C body style, just seems to be something that fits in my workflow. Just seems to be something that I'm willing to pick up more times than not over my A7 III, which is a bigger full frame. Now I am very interested in taking a look at the A7C Mark II over the A7 IV. It's the same camera in a smaller body because I like the compact shooting form that these bodies have, and the A7C Mark II just seems to be something more that I am gonna respond to and use on a day-to-day basis over my much larger full frame body. I'm not a professional videographer. I'm not a professional photographer, yet I have gotten paid to do both things. I've gotten paid to take professional photos. I have gotten paid to take professional videos, and I have to say these things just work. Sony has got us into a point where anything within the last 5 to 6 years, you're in good. You're gonna get a lot of bang for your buck at this point. It's gonna be one of those. I mean, the image that still comes out of this is, to me, it's second. I prefer shooting on this in my full frame, which is bizarre, but it's true. And because of that, I still think that for myself, if you find it at the right price, you know what I mean? I get there's people who want the A6700, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's a phenomenal camera. And if I had that camera and found it at the right price, I would get it. But I just think that you can save some money. Not everyone needs 4K 60, 4K 120. Not everyone needs those aspects. The autofocus on this camera is amazing, both for video and photo use. So if you're thinking about getting the A6600, I don't think you're gonna have a regret unless you're looking super proofing yourself with the A6700, which is a phenomenal camera. But again, do you need all that? You have to really come to the point where you say, do I need all those things? If this camera is gonna live on your desk and you're gonna be shooting talking head stuff, what do you need 4K 60 for? What do you need 4K 120? You got to think about those things.